amazing people, and welcome to Chit and Chat with April and
Kisha.
And where we talk about all things motherhood, sisterhood, womanhood, adulthood, parenthood, childhood, and the hood.
So grab your favorite beverage and let's get to chit and chatting.
All right. So before we get into the beverages, we do have a guest today that I will introduce y'all later. Dr. Nicole Rountree, who's going to be talking to us about situational awareness during the homecoming season. But first, let's get to these drinks. So, Sissy, what you drinking today?
Well, today I felt a little tropical. And so I got the Mountain Dew, the Baja Blast. That's how I'm rolling today. It ain't opened the can yet. You know, I had to get on and do the things and such and so forth. But yeah, it's about to be popped. So if y'all heard something go, psst, y'all know it's me.
Okay. And so, you know how people have comfort drinks? I mean, comfort food. I have a comfort drink. So y'all might say, girl, you weird. My mama be like, girl, you just be mixing up drinks. That's just nasty. But anyway, I have a comfort drink. So my comfort drink is orange juice, no pulp, ginger ale, or how we say ginger ale, but ginger ale and a squirt of lemon juice. That's what I'm drinking. Mix it together, and that's what I'm drinking. Y'all might say this girl is weird, but that is my comfort drink.
I mean, it sounds good.
Put your face frown up. It sounds good. Well, you know how you put Kool-Aid and put a little ginger ale in it or what?
Yeah, that's true.
So, Dr. Rountree, what are you sipping on today?
Well, unfortunately, I am not fancy today. I just have my handy dandy Stanley, and it's filled with ice water. So, but and I don't have it beside me. I threw it away. But what I normally drink on is some Starbucks coffee. So,
so you got that.
And I'm being good. I'm
so
being good.
I'm hydrating. H2O.
Yes, high quality H2O.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited because today we have my sister from another mister, my soror, my girl, we went to VCU together. That's how we met at VCU. We've been down with each other since 1993. Marriages, divorces, babies. We don't have no grandbabies yet, but our kids grown. But we don't have no grandbabies yet. My girl, Dr. Nicole Rountree, and I am going to read her bio because I'm telling you, she is all that. So Dr. Nicole Nikki Rountree is a seasoned educator, motivational speaker, author, entrepreneur, and women's safety advocate with over 28 years of experience in education. She currently serves as a program director at University Instructors, where she leads large-scale instructional programs across multiple states. Beyond education, Dr. Rountree is the founder of Bossy Bombshells Boutique and Polished It Nailz. Yes, she is, because she's a hustler. Blending creativity and entrepreneurship. As an author, she writes across multiple genres, from urban fiction and thrillers to fantasy, motivational works, and practical guides such as financial literacy workbooks and women's empowerment journals. She is also a passionate advocate for women's safety, leading seminars and workshops on situational awareness and self-defense to equip women with the tools to stay safe and empowered. Known for her engaging, no-nonsense style, again, no-nonsense style, Dr. Rountree inspires audience to embrace purpose, passion, and power in every area of life. So give it up for my girl, my sis, my soror, my colleague, Dr. Nicole Rountree.
Yay! Hello.
So, Dr. Rountree, or Dr. Nikki, sometimes I call you Dr. Cole. This is homecoming season. Homecoming season, whether you're in, I think middle schools have homecomings too. So whether you're in middle school, whether you're in high school, whether you're in college, this is homecoming season, and it is on and pop. So during homecoming season, you got parties, you got the football game, you got parties, you got the tailgate, you got parties, you got kickback, you got the bonfire, you got parties, you got concerts. What else you got?
Dances.
Everything.
Yes, and you got parties.
And more
So,
parties.
and more parties. So alumni parties, undergrad parties, party, a party after party, and after the after party.
Party.
Homecomings, it is partying, it is always busy, it is crowded, traffic everywhere. It is a lot going on. So I am going to turn over the mic to you so that you can talk about situational awareness during homecoming season, and not just homecoming season, but throughout every day of your life.
Okay. Well, thank you, Soror. Thank you, Nikisha. I'm glad that you all invited me here. This is a topic that I am very passionate about. I have been refusing to be a victim since I was probably before I started college, but I was really cognizant about it when I got in college. I paid attention during orientation when they said always go in pairs, no matter where you're going. If you're dating and you're going on that date for that first time, hey, give your roommate, your best friend, your cousin, whomever it might be, somebody take down that license plate when you get in that car.
Yep.
So, and I would tell back then, we didn't have text messages or anything like that. So it's more convenient now than it was. I mean, you had to have a piece of paper, something to write on or whatever. But I did those things, and to really give you an idea of what made me so passionate about safety is because I actually did something one time that almost had me not here anymore. When you think of the white vans, like I had an exam. I'll tell y'all the story. This is the first time I've ever told anybody outside of the family, okay? But I was on my way to taking an exam. It was a physics exam at Norfolk State. And I had to pass this exam in order to pass the course. The professor already said, no excuses. If you're late, you're not. I mean, he just let me know that if I didn't make it there, I might as well forget taking that exam. Well, I broke down. And I was on the side of the road thinking to myself, now this was before cell phones. And well, actually, I did have a cell phone in my car, believe it or not. I was one of, I don't know, most people my age didn't have the phone in the car, but it was connected to my, it was connected to my car. But my car broke down and battery, the car wouldn't start, it was dead. So no phone, right? So this white van pulls over. And I'm in the car, I'm thinking to myself, y'all, I need to get to this exam. But then on the other hand, I was like, man, that's a white van. I don't know what's going to happen. So I get inside of this white van. So I didn't listen to my gut, my intuition. I get inside of this white van, and when I get in the van, I realized immediately I had made a mistake, right? Nothing but God. God was with me. When we say that God looks out for children and fools, I was both. And so the inside panel of the driver's side door of the van was missing. So there was no doorknob. There was nothing.
Wait,
So
on your side?
on my side, on my side. So I immediately in my mind was like, I need to get out of here. I need to jump out. But I couldn't get out because the door, there was nothing there. I couldn't get out. Couldn't roll the window down. Couldn't do nothing. So the man asked me where was I going, and I really was going to Norfolk State, but I said, no, I just need you to take me to my sister-in-law's daycare center, which just so happened to be off of the exit that I was going on. So the man, as we were driving to get to the exit, every time I was sitting there, maybe 19 years old. And every time I looked over to my left, he was looking at me. It was a look, y'all, that I was like, I had a chill run through my body. And
Mm-mm.
he, he kept asking me a bunch of questions, and I was giving him very short answers. And so I told him, I said, you get off at this exit right here. He got off at the exit. And I immediately started praying. I was like, Lord, please, I promise I won't do nothing this stupid ever again. Just let me get out of this situation, because this man is finna to do something to me. So we pull, y'all, into my sister-in-law's daycare center. It was closed. There was not one car in the parking lot. And so when we pulled in, he was like, are you sure this is it? And I was like, yes, it is. I was like, can you please let me out? He was like, it looks like it's closed. I mean, I was begging him to open the door. So I ended up, and this was for anybody from this 757 area, this was off of Pondexter. So I got, he finally let me out, but he didn't pull off. So I couldn't, like, I went to the door, but I knew nobody was there. So I just kind of stood there, and I was knocking and, kind of pulling on the door or whatever. And then eventually he left. Okay. Nothing but God. But then I had to walk like 4 blocks to the Tiny Giant. And I didn't really have any money, but back then they had payphones, right? I had a quarter. And my grandma that just passed away, we just buried her last Wednesday. I put that quarter, I was crying my eyes out. I put the quarter in that phone, called my grandma. My grandmama was home. I was like, please come get me. And then I was like, when she came to get me, I was crying and told her what was going on. She laid me, when I tell you she laid me out, she laid me out. But then I was like, can you please take me to Norfolk State so I can take this test? So when I get to school, this is what was funny, because I told y'all the professor said, I don't care. Y'all not taking this exam. I guess he was like, this fool right here, let me go ahead and let her take this exam. Because I just burst out crying in front of the whole class. I was like, I just hitchhiked for the first time in my life, and it was a white van, and I just went on and on and on.
Oh.
It was like, and I was like, you please, you gotta let me take this test, because I hitchhiked to get here and almost lost my life, please. And he let me take the test, y'all, and I actually passed the test. But do you realize how
Yes.
dangerous that was?
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes we become desperate, and out of desperation, I said, okay, can't be that bad. It's just right up the street. But right up the street could have ended my life, because if it were not for God, I swear that that man did not have any good intentions when he picked me up. So that is what made me really passionate about just being an advocate for safety and women's safety. And then when you think about now how we are seeing these young people, a lot of them, especially in this area in Virginia, and especially in the area that I'm in, it's like every other day you're seeing a kid, somebody is reporting them missing. Some of them come home because they ran away, but a lot of them, their parents still have not seen them. So situational awareness, you would think, is something simple, right?
Yeah.
But most people do not practice it,
Okay.
even though it is or should be intuitive, because situational awareness is nothing more than your intuition. And what I always tell people, if it's not right, if it doesn't feel right, it probably ain't right. Just like that day in that van, I knew something wasn't right. I was looking around at my surroundings. In the back of the van was like, it was like covers, and looks like he may have been sleeping in the van, and then the door panel missing. I knew right away I was in trouble, so I couldn't do nothing but pray, right?
Mm.
So I like to tell young people, but even us more seasoned women too, because sometimes you think they should know and they really don't. There are three levels of awareness for people. You have a low level, you have a moderate level, and then you have a high level of awareness. When are you at your lowest level of awareness? Mm, Probably most people would say at home, right? Because that's where you feel the safest. So a low level of awareness there makes sense, right? Because you're familiar, you're comfortable, you're behind closed doors, the safety of your own home. But then you may have a moderate level, you have the moderate level of awareness. Okay, a moderate level of awareness may be when you go to work, right? Um, you're probably not as safe as if you were in the home, but you're familiar, at minimum, you're familiar. Working in the school district, if I go into the school, I know we have security guards, I know we have other people. Okay, when should you be at a high level of awareness? When you're somewhere where you never been before. For example, if you decide to go out of the country, if you're in the Bahamas, you don't know anybody, you've never been there before. Your whole body should be on high alert at all times. But most of the time, people are not.
Because we haven't
And
been.
and I think this cell phone or the digital devices are probably this right here is probably one of the number one things that takes young people away, takes them out of their situational awareness state, because they're always face down in this device, that they're not paying attention to what is going on around them.
Right.
Our young people feel like they're invincible. When you know, my daughter, they go, she's in college at Norfolk State, and she goes to these little hole in the wall clubs. And one of the things that I tell them to do and they think I'm crazy. But I'm like, when you walk into the club, the first thing you should be thinking about is,
How
where's
to
my
get out?
exit? How
Exit.
do I get
Yes.
out? How
How do I
many?
get out?
Yes.
Yes.
If anything happens, where are my exits? If you
Yep.
go into a club and the only way out is your way in, you
Mm-hmm.
need to turn around and not go in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oop.
Been
Mm-hmm.
there. Yes, been there.
For those who lived in Richmond or went to VCU, Virginia Union, or surroundings, Ivory's. That was our club. It had an upstairs and downstairs, but I've only known one way out, and we was all packed upstairs and downstairs. And if something had popped off, a fire or shooting or whatever, we would have all been stampeded trying to get down the steps out because there was that one exit. Now it might have been more exits, but we in that part of stuff only see one exit, the way in and the way out. So do as we say, not as we do.
Exactly. And what did I say earlier? God looks out for children and food. Everything that I share with anybody, I'm going to tell you, I probably lived through it. Okay? I probably lived through it because I went to a homecoming, Virginia State. There was that. I don't know where it is, couldn't tell you how I got there because I was lit. This is my next point. Okay. So, homecoming, we know some people may not, but most people get lit. And when I tell you we were lit, we were lit. There was this club we went into, and you don't go up, you go down to get, it was a basement. It was a huge basement. Okay. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, April, but I
Oh
went,
my God.
I was lit. It was packed, and it was down into, I thought I was going into the depths of hell when I tell you, okay? And we got in there, it was packed, it was hot, I was lit, and but I had a ball. But when I reflect back on that, I should have been aware of the fact that when I went in this basement, that there was no exit. There were no windows. So if something were to have happened, then once again, I could have been gone up yonder because God looks out for children and food. I made it out once again, right? But our young people, they don't think like that.
Right.
You know, and even if they did, they would be too embarrassed to tell their friend, be like, girl, this only got one entrance. If something pop off, anything. Nope, they go in there,
Because
they
they
get
all be in there
lit.
together partying.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
So
And having a ball be in danger
and
the whole
Right.
time.
and don't even realize.
Yes.
Don't even realize it.
So I have a question getting back to the van situation, because everybody look at the white van. Everybody look at the white van, but I be looking at all vans. I be looking at all.
I be looking at the blue ones.
Yeah, because because people crazy. But so doing homecoming, there's gonna be a lot of Lyfts and Ubers and all that, because don't nobody want to drive, or so what kind of safety tips can you give for ride shares?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good question. First of all, the ride shares nowadays, with some of the incidents that have happened, they actually have safety features built into the ride share that a lot of young people don't even pay any attention to. For example, you can set up the Uber or the Lyft for to put a password or a code or something in, that you can literally ask the driver for your code or the password so you can ensure that that's the correct driver. If you're not paying attention to the license plate, it tells you that in the app. It gives you a picture of the person. If the person doesn't match the picture, don't get in. If the car, if it's a Mazda in the app and a black BMW, all chromed out, pull up with a nice looking guy in it, I don't care. It's not the blue Mazda. So if it's not the blue Mazda, then you don't get in it. Take the time to walk around the car. It is okay. And look to make sure that the license plate matches. Another thing that people don't think about when you're doing the ride shares, even though you are taking that ride share because you don't want to drink and drive, if you are doing a ride share, you should still be with somebody else, especially if you've been drinking and somebody in your group needs to be of sound, sober mind. Because even if, like, we have people who are legit Uber drivers, but if they get a pretty young thing that's toe up lit in the back of their car, we don't know what that person's psyche is. So we don't know what they may do. They may decide to pull off to the side somewhere and, you know, rape you or whatever, but you're lit. So you don't really, you don't really know. And if all your friends lit, then nobody is of sound mind to really even do anything. You know what I'm saying? So those are some safety tips that I could give when doing ride shares. Another so we have this little metro train thing here. My daughter and her friend, they were going downtown to a club. Okay, tip. You get there and you see a weird, crazy man at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're going to wherever it is that you're going. What's the first thing that's wrong with that? Like, why are you even at the transit, the train, metro thing at that time? You young, vulnerable, crazy. That's when crazy people hang out. Call me, I'll take you. It's not an inconvenience to me. But you don't need to be at the train station, you and another female friend, at that time of the night. But I'm being paranoid. But then soon as you get in the situation, there's a crazy psycho man at the train station. So young people think that we as older people are just nagging, running our lips, but we're telling them things that can save their lives. They may never be in that situation, but that's what situational awareness. It's better to be ready and be prepared than to be trying to figure out how to get prepared when you're in that situation. Because like me in that white van, even though I had all the common sense in the world not to get in that van, and in my mind, I had said that if I get in this van, if I need to get out, I could get out. But who knew it wouldn't have a door panel on the inside? Yeah, that man didn't have any good intentions. Because why would he be driving that van with no inside door panel?
Exactly. Exactly.
So I just think that the young people, they don't pay enough attention. And you know, even us as adults, sometimes we don't pay enough attention either.
Okay. So another question is because I was always taught, my mom always told me this, even when we was little, walk in pairs, walk in groups. You going somewhere,
Right.
walk, you on campus. We was in VCU in Richmond. VCU campus got two different campuses. You got Broad Street, Virginia Union right around the corner. We were walking everywhere. My mom's like, always walk, even on campus, always walk with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, because this is homecoming, and even if it's not homecoming, you on campus. Why is it important to have a buddy system during homecoming? And what's the best way for friends to watch out for each other?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, April. These young people not built like we were when we.
True.
They will bounce on you in a minute. Our parents told us, if you come as a group, you leave as a group. If you come together, you leave together. These young people don't believe in that anymore. People leave you there by yourself, and they're the ones driving, and they will leave you, and you don't have a ride home, forcing you to find another ride with someone else. The buddy system is good if people use it, because it technically is supposed to work like this. If you're in groups, it's more of a deterrent for somebody that does have ill will against you. So got not the little, but the human trafficking people out there that are trying to, snatch up teenagers or whatever the case. They're not going to go for the pair or the, triplet or, the group of girls. They're going to try to find that girl who feels like they are one against the world and they can go anywhere they want by themselves and ain't nobody go do this to me. That's who they look for. But we have to be careful even with that, because just because you're in a group does not necessarily mean that you're safe anymore. Because, for example, let's go back to the van. You're leaving the club and you had to park in the parking garage. You are with your girls. It's you and, let's say, 2, maybe even 3 other people. Your car happens to be parked beside, I don't know, I'm gonna say the van blue this time, okay? Parked beside a blue van. So your driver and your 2 girls are on the side closest to the van. Now, human traffickers are getting smarter, right? Because at the end of the day, they know that, okay, maybe they are refusing to be a victim and they're going to travel with more than one person. Well, each one of those bodies is worth a lot of money. Okay. So what am I going to do if I'm a human trafficker? I'm going to have a driver, and then I'm going to have a couple of people in the back of my van so that I can get more than one person.
Right.
Okay? I got 3 now, not just one. So when a person becomes a number, a monetary number, you can't put anything past anybody, right? So that means you can't be comfortable with the fact that it's 3 or 4 you all. What you have to now do is all 4 of you have to practice situational awareness. If I'm in the front, I'm looking in the front, you looking over here, you looking over here, somebody looking in the back. All of us are looking around this parking garage, and when somebody sees something crazy, then what? If it don't look right, probably ain't right.
Right.
So I think until young people get that type of mindset, then, we're going to continue to see young people getting snatched up. especially when you don't have anybody telling them, guiding them, or when you're driving down the street and you see 9 and 10-year-olds walking by themselves at 8, 9 o'clock at night. Yeah. Let me snatch them up. Obviously don't nobody care about them because they letting them, that's the mindset.
Yeah.
So being in groups is great. Please have a buddy system, but everybody needs to be vigilant, especially in this day and time. If it's not somebody trying to get us because of human trafficking, we have people who just don't like us, who don't want to see us here, simply here, period. So people have their own agendas and you just don't want to be a part of it. So the more cognizant you are of saving your own life and refusing to be a victim, the better off that you will be, because God does look out for children and fools. But sometimes God be like, how many times am I going to tell you? So he didn't tell you to be no fool. He look out for you, but he also says you got to practice some common sense. Faith without works is dead. So
with that being said, so of course, like we talked about earlier, parties, and then there's football games, there's the pep rallies, there's the bonfires, there's tailgating. Everybody on campus is just packed. It's like a family reunion. That's what homecoming is. It's just like a big family reunion. So what practical tips can help students stay alert and safe in packed environments like the games, the pep rallies, the concerts? Because we only been in school a month or two, and there already been campus shutdowns and all of that. So when you got more people on campus, not just the students, but you got guests and alumni coming back, and there's so many more people on campus, and the campus is more crowded. Even if you're outside, like I said, at a football game, what practical steps can you take to be safe in the environment? Because I always tell my child, be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
When you walking around, I don't care if you are comfortable walking this place, that place, still be aware of your surroundings, because people are crazy. And then when you at homecoming, like I said, it's a big family reunion, and you seeing people you ain't seen in a while, and your guard kind of drops. Like you said, you have the levels of low, moderate, and high. But even though you out on campus, especially if you're familiar with the campus, hey, this is my school, your guard drops down. So how can you be safe even outside in environments, crowded environments?
Okay, so I've always been told if you don't have a plan, then you're planning to fail. So I tell people, people say, oh, you just negative. No, I'm not negative. I'm being realistic. You go into a situation thinking, what would happen if? What do I do? So if you're at homecoming, one of the first things, if you're with your girlfriends at homecoming, and we know that things happen and we're living in a volatile state, things happen. If somebody get to shooting, one of the first things that you and your girlfriend should already have planned out is, if we get separated, where do we meet? Because in the likelihood that somebody starts shooting off, one of the things you want to be, you can't be looking around for your friends. You got to go. You just got to go. You go to wherever that place is. we're going to meet at the 7-Eleven, which is right up the street. And you stay there until everybody gets there. And then if your person doesn't come, then that's when you need to be worried. I'm not saying go back to, to the place, but you now can be like, okay, you're here, but where's April? Where's April? I'm calling April. April not answering her telephone, and then that's when you go into action. You call the police, whatever you need to do. You then go into action to find out what's going on with your friends. So you plan for the worst. We can't stop things from happening. It's a negative world, but what we can do is plan for what I'm going to do if it does happen, and I think that's probably the best advice that I can give, because you just never know what people have in store. I mean, we had a shooting on the campus at Norfolk State on our plots earlier in, I think it was earlier in this school year, and someone was shot. Didn't die, thankfully, but it was a random person. People, if it's an open campus, and Norfolk State is fencing in their campus now. You're not just going to be able to get on campus any old kind of way once they're done. But if it's an open campus, anybody could come on the campus, and they could be coming with ill intent.
And usually at home, doing homecomings, or even if it's not homecoming, if you having a party on campus or a football game or a step show, it's usually not the students that's popping off. It's somebody else that's coming on campus that's popping off. Last year, North Carolina Central had a shooting at homecoming. I had just left. Get home, get in my car, get home. My mama like, girl, I was ready to call you. They got a shooting. I'm like, what? I just left. This year, they doing things different. Like, you got to be off campus at 7:00. They don't care what's going on. By 7:00, if you don't live on campus, you got to be off campus. Because people don't know how to act. That's usually how it is when stuff go off. It's not the students. It's somebody that's there. That's a visitor. Another thing is when you were saying about, we meet at the 7-Eleven, then we'll call, make sure everybody get there. If the person ain't there, then we'll call and check. So here, well, my family does it all the time. When we leave, like if I'm going to visit my sister in Virginia and we leaving and we're coming back home, when we get home, we'll call and say, hey, we're at home. Even my son, I'll be like, hey, I'm going to Virginia. When I get to Virginia, I'll call you or text you, let you know I'm there. Hey, I'm back in the Carolinas, all of that. So people can know, okay, well, she said 2 hours ago she was going such and such and such and such. So we'll know we're at home. But here, with the group of sorors that I have here, we have this thing where we text. So if we're all together, and then everybody leave, we could be at somebody's house, we could be at dinner, it don't matter where we at. But then when we leave, everybody got to text everybody in the group to let them know that we made it home. Because at a certain time, if we don't hear from you, we calling to see where you at, what's going on, you all right? It could be, oh girl, I got home and I started doing such and such and I forgot, or I was about to, But you got to text everybody in the group chat. You got to text everybody. If we don't hear from you, we are calling you at a certain time. I had a soror and her husband, who the husband was a Kappa, and they was leaving a party. They got hit by a drunk driver. Going the wrong way, and her husband passed away. And she was in the hospital for a while. She had medical issues. But of course we heard about it on the news, and everybody was calling each other like, hold on, is that such and such and such? But that's when we basically, we had just started implementing that text when you get home, because she hadn't text back. So when her husband was leaving and she hadn't text back, and then you text back, well, okay, everybody else is texting, said they at home, why they ain't texting? And then you hear this all on the news. So we make sure that if we're somewhere, we're gonna text each other to let us know, because I might live here, but then somebody else might live 30 minutes away. Somebody else might live 45 minutes away.
Right.
So we always text each other, let them know, hey, we made it home, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm telling you, if at a certain time, an hour go by and we ain't heard from you, we gonna be calling. Just to make sure everybody is safe. And like I said, me and my sister, my mom, my son, at my aunts, our family do it all the time. We'll leave somewhere and we either call or text. Most of the time we calling and say, hey, we made it home. I know it take me 2 hours to get here, but it took 3 hours because with my mama, we got to stop everywhere, do a little shopping. And, gotta get food, gotta go to this Dollar Tree, that Dollar General, this such and such. Or we in another town, so we gotta go see, because this Dollar Tree don't have the same stuff that the other Dollar Tree do. So we might take, so instead of it being 2 hours, it might be 2.5 hours, 3 hours to get home. So for homecoming, even if it's not homecoming, it could be a football game, it could be a party or anything. Text people, let them know that. And when you text, have it your text, that if my son texts me and it ain't his usual text, something off, I know something up. We got our own little codes that we would text. And if that text ain't the same text, and then I text you and then it's followed by some crazy, then I know I need to ride, we riding, because we have that little, text thing that's, I'm like, okay, why is he sending me this? He ain't been sending me this. And I'll call him and he be like, oh yeah, Mom, it was me. I was just da-da-da. You good? Let me FaceTime you, because I want to see you around and make sure you good. But yeah, so text, call, let them know that even Nicole, you and I and Yolanda, we was at a reunion. Y'all live in Virginia, I live in North Carolina. Y'all made it home before me because I live in North Carolina. But guess what? We was texting each other, hey, I'm home. So that we would know that you are safe, because if you don't text back and we call and you don't answer, we coming looking for you some kind of way.
And I'm glad you brought that up too, because something that parents can do, and the young people aren't gonna like it, but sharing the location. Like, all of my kids have shared their locations with me, and what I tell them is, like, I don't want your location because I'm gonna be stalking you. But at the end of the day, if something happens to you, I can at least tell the police the last place
you were. Yes, exactly.
And they're like, you so negative. I'm like, I'm not being negative, I'm being realistic. And this household, we refuse to be a victim. So don't let me look for you and your location is off. Especially if you're telling me that if you're going out, like, okay, I want you to be a young person. I was, Lord knows I was.
Yes.
April knows.
Yes, we were there together.
But it's a different day and time. So if a parent has Life 360, we have that. We use that with my sisters. So we're all on Life 360. So just like you all, that's our way. I forgot to call them. We went to dinner for my mom's birthday. I forgot. I'm the one that lives way in Suffolk. So I forgot to call and let them know that I made it home. I forgot to text them, right? And my sister said, oh yeah, you didn't text me to let me know you were home, but I know you're home because I got your location. So those are the types of things that we have to do. It's called protecting our family. It's called looking out for one another. Now, I will say this. Young people nowadays are just randomly sharing their locations with
Everybody on
Yes.
Snap.
on, and
Yes.
there, I got a problem with that. Like,
I do too.
share it with your best friend, share it with your roommate. But why the whole campus got to know where you are? This is a thing. Now, what happens when you have that one person who's now angry with you and they want to know your location? All they got to do is go on whatever apps you're on, and they can see
Mm,
exactly where you are. That's not refusing
exactly.
to be a victim. That's letting people know you're low, like my kids
Exactly.
say. And everybody knowing you're low isn't the safest thing either.
Right.
That's another question. So um it took me a while to get on Facebook, but now I'm on Facebook and everything. I'm all over Facebook, but that's another story that has to do with entrepreneurship. But
Yes, you are.
I know, right? Not by choice, but that's the new marketing. Anyway, so that brings me to what you just said.
Mhm.
Everybody is putting, how can you be safe where everybody is putting their location at the time in real time? So it's not like, hey, I went to the beach, whatever, and then I post pictures at the beach. Well, the beach was a week ago. I ain't at the beach now. But
Mhm.
people be posting, like you said, Snapchat or whatever, real time. So they know you're not at home. They
Mhm.
know you such and such a place. So how can, and I know the answer to this, but for those that's watching, how can you be safe on social media while you are posting in real time so the people know where you at?
Well, one of the things you can do, you can go into the social media app settings and you can disable it's the geo mapping or whatever it's called, so that when you post, it doesn't automatically share your location of where you are. But it's really simple. Don't well, if anybody wanted to know where I was on Saturday, I was clearly at the Portsmouth Wine Festival and I
Yes, she
posted
was.
in real time. So if somebody wanted to get me, they knew exactly where I was. But best practice is, and I'm telling you what best practice is to do your videos, have fun, take all your pictures, but wait to post them until you are home. Or if you're going on vacation, going on a cruise, I know you want everybody to know your feet. You got your feet in the sand, and your new, your little drinky drink, and with the palm trees and all that. But wait, because when you're posting that you're in Jamaica, now everybody know that you're not home. And so if somebody would want to come rob you, they know you're not home. So there is just best practices and simple common sense, which I'm finding is not so common nowadays, right?
True.
But
Yeah, that's true.
we all like to go live. I do it. That's the thing. But when you are really thinking about refusing to be, for example, you tell somebody that you're at the hotel. I like to take pictures and videotape my
Yes,
room,
you do.
and they'd be like, "Oh, look."
Yes, you do.
I do, right? I do it most of the time. I do it real time, which is not very safe. But one of the things I try not to do is to share my location. I won't say what my location is. I won't put in the chat, oh yeah, I'm in Richmond at the Holiday Inn on 29th Street. I'm not gonna do it. But you have some people who overshare,
Yeah.
and they share so much that they literally are giving people a map to straight to them. So we just have to use that common sense. We have to, be very, as women, we have it even more than men. We have what is called intuition. And I tell everybody and anybody who even wrote a book about it, a woman's intuition is the strongest sense that a woman has. It is a gift. In some instances, it can be a curse, because usually if your intuition is telling you something, usually it's right. So the thing for us women, and I do women's safety, but men are at jeopardy too now, y'all. So, but as women, we have to, trust our gut, trust our intuition. And when those spidey senses start tingling, know it's for a reason. Trust it. Don't ever shake it off. Trust it.
So, Kisha, do you have any questions for Dr. Nikki?
I don't think so, because I mean we didn't talk about everything. Like my kids got I got Life 360 on my kids. They actually share a cell phone. And one of the things that they do is I tell them, I'm like, you can't delete none of your messages, no nothing. And if I tell you to hand your phone over, I'm reading through, I better not find and delete it. It is what it is. But I have their Life 360, and I got their location. They ain't got mine because mine ain't none of their business. And but I mean, and then I share in real time where I am, but then I also have cameras at my house. So, and I have neighbors that I can say, hey, can you run over to my house and see what this is or whatever? Or, we got a friend that lives down the street that I can say, hey, go over to the house because this, and this is going on. So we have cameras outside the house and inside the house. It's like Fort Knox over here. So
it really is. That's why I can't stay there. I ain't got no privacy. Literally.
Look, when you got 5 kids and you got to work, you got to leave them kids at the house, you got to have cameras everywhere.
Exactly. Yes.
No problem. So every time a door open up, something going off on my phone.
Let me see what they do.
They taking out the trash.
Okay. No privacy. I can't stay here. No privacy.
So, they walk in front of the TV, the camera light up. I'm like, what y'all doing?
I love it though.
She do. She really do. It is like Fort Knox. It's not.
I'm like, I scare them half the time, because most of the times I'll just be watching them through the camera. They don't even know. And then I'll see something. I start talking. They're like, oh my God, you scared me. I'm like, hey, I told y'all don't never know when I'm watching. So, but yeah, I mean, we do stuff like, we try, and I try to tell my kids, I got 4 girls and 1 boy. And I try to tell my girls to be observant. Now, I don't know where I went wrong with my oldest 2. But my youngest 2 is a whole lot better. My youngest one, she's still kind of on the iffy. She's at the age where she's 13. She don't believe that everybody's her friend. And nothing gonna happen to her. She's a cheerleader. Everything, life is great. But my 14-year-old is like, yeah. So why that brown box sitting over there on that curb and it's been sitting over there for 3 days? Like, she that tight. And I'm like, girl, I don't know, because I was looking at it too. So,
well, look, I can't say about the youngest one because me and Mom was talking about her today. My mom was like, why do I smell cinnamon? And I was like, that sounds like your grandchild, because her youngest daughter is like, if you smell cinnamon, it's poison.
She said, if you smell cinnamon, she said, don't drink it or don't eat it, because that means somebody put poison in your food and they're trying to cover it up. And I'm like, what in the forensic files? Like, what did you do?
So she might be on that iffy part where, everybody my friends, but if she she smells cinnamon, that's enough.
Exactly.
She's not trying to kill her.
Look, that's situational awareness, though. I mean, in a different form, but right. It's situational awareness. So yes, I'm gonna remember that.
She was like, Why I
She do
smell
it all the
cinnamon?
time.
All the time.
She's
Why
like,
I
does this
smell
have cinnamon in it?
Well, you know what? She wouldn't want to eat my spaghetti because, most people wouldn't think that cinnamon would be in spaghetti, right? But I put cinnamon in my spaghetti. So she would be like, oh, this
She'll
lady
be
trying
like,
to kill me.
She'll be like, no, thank you. I'm not hungry. Mama, can we get some McDonald's when we leave?
Because that lady trying to kill her.
I can hear now. People, who is your friend? You know the one that made the spaghetti that smell like cinnamon. Yeah. She trying
Yes.
to unalive us.
That's exactly what she said. She's like, she's trying to unalive us.
She's trying to
Like, girl.
unalive us. So
But
go ahead.
But yeah, I try to teach them as much awareness. I mean, I work in the high, and not only for my kids, but I also try with the kids in the high school that I work for. Like these young ladies, they have, you're right, they stay in their phones and they have no clue. And then I often think, so if I'm having to tell you what you need to be observant about, what is your family telling you? Like where has society failed you all with not teaching you all how to be observant? Like we were being taught how to be observant when we were 3, 4. Back in the day, it was,
Because we were
if you see the
latchkey
man on the
kids.
corner and he handing out stuff, you don't take it from him. If you see the car pull up, you go the other way, stuff like that. You tell a kid now, if you see the man on the corner handing out stuff, before you even get the sentence out, they're gonna be over there with their hand out.
With their hand out, what you got? Let me get some. It's free.
Can I get some of that?
Yes.
I hear a lot of girls go, oh my God, if a white van pull up and they got Sephora, I'm gonna be dead because I'm getting in. What are you telling me? Like, why? What? Is it that easy? Did I have to? All they got to do is show you some Sephora or some Ulta, and you're gonna be in the van. Like, you know what? Okay, them gonna take a picture now so I can put it on the Walmart board because I don't understand.
So
I don't understand.
So I want to give a situational awareness that happened to me back in the day, high school, way back in the day, over at EC Glass High School. So across the street, from the high school is a plaza, and that's where the bus stop, the city bus is. And I had to leave school to meet my mom to go to the doctor. Something was going on, but I had to get out of school early. So I walked across the street and I was at the plaza at the bus depot. And, I got my little notebook, my little trapper keeper. We had the trapper keeper back in the day. And this car, even though I'm sitting at the bus stop, and there's a lot of people at the bus stop, this car, a little brown station wagon, it wasn't even a white van, it's a brown station wagon. So people can come in, all craziness can come in any car. And this car kept driving around the bus depot. He drove like 3, 4, like literally. And I noticed him drive. So when he get to me and I'm sitting on the bench, he get to me, he'll slow down and he's looking, and then he'll drive off because other cars are coming. And the bus ain't got there. I don't know where the buses was at that day. The buses was on the other side, but not on my side. He kept driving around, right? So, and I noticed the car. But what I did, young and dumb, but evidently saved my life. But what I did is I took out my notebook. And I just started writing, right? I just took out my notebook, I started writing. I was like, the bus ain't here yet. I'll start on some homework. That's what I was really doing. So when he came back around that last time, he seen me writing, he took off and he left. And by that time, by that time, the bus came and I knew the bus driver and everything. I got on the bus and whatever and met my mama. And when I met my mom, I told her, I said, Mom, this car with this dude, and it kept driving around. And then I took out my notebook and started doing my homework. And then he left. She said, because he thought that you was writing his license plate down.
Yeah.
In my mind, I won't think it like that. I mean, I noticed that he kept driving around, but I'm like, and in my mind, I was like, I'm not getting in the car. And if he stopped, the school is right there. I got other people around, but he just kept going and he won't look at nobody else but me. And, back then I was smaller and heavier chested. And I'm sitting there.
And he like,
Exactly. And he just kept. So the last time I was just writing, and my mom said, because he thought that you was writing down his license plate. Because he took off fast, like he slowed down, and he was like, and then I ain't see him no more. By this time, the bus had came, and I got my backpack and got on the bus. But that's a tip
Right
too.
across from the school. So that's probably not his first time. That wasn't his first time doing something like that.
Mm-mm.
And even though you didn't know what you were doing, you probably did save your own life.
Because he kept driving. Like after the third time, I noticed, why this car keep driving around? And then when he get to me, and I'm sitting on the bench, he get to me, he'll slow down and he looking. And also then when we came back around, I saw he just took off. And she was like, what happened was he thought you was writing down his license plate. So
yeah.
I don't know if I ever had in a situational girl, I may have, but I'm so crazy I wouldn't even know.
But you here, you still
doing the most.
Yeah.
God do look out for babies and fools, because I was doing the most.
Yes, my sister does the most. The most.
Yeah, I did the most. And so it could have possibly yeah, and I'm still here. That's all I'm saying. I am still here. I'm still here, and I am a wealth of knowledge.
And you can share that. The
That's
good thing
right.
is you can share it with your girls, and
that's right.
They don't quite understand why we are so overprotective, but we have to be that way because they're under.
Exactly.
They don't think enough because they don't think that the world is a bad place.
And they don't, right.
And yeah. So you, like I said, I always tell my son, I tell everybody, always be aware of your surroundings. Don't get too comfortable. You got to notice people, even though people might look what's crazy to you, and they might not be crazy, but the people that look quote unquote normal to you could be the crazy ones. So just always be aware of everything, whether you're at homecoming, whether you're on campus, whether you're at work, at home, at the airport, the grocery store, the parking lot, wherever. Always be aware. So
even when you go across seas, be aware, because that's what people go. I mean, people go missing all the time when they go on vacation, and that is like becoming a bigger thing. Is right up there with stuff that's happening right on our own homegrown soil. Is we go somewhere and we don't come back, and whether it be on a cruise ship, how you gonna miss it on the cruise ship? I don't know, but I need to know answers as to why you gonna miss it on the cruise ship. So remember when Sean went to the UK, and I was like, don't look them in the eye. Don't say this. Don't be nice to them. Keep your passport with you at all times. Like, don't leave nothing in your room. Don't put nothing but worth anything. Like, I was giving him all these things, and I was like, because I hate to have to come over there.
Girl, you talking about the UK. I was doing it when he went to New York. Be aware. Don't be such and such. Da. Always be aware. Da. Oh, where you staying at? Okay. Oh, it's the police station right behind your hotel, and this, that, and the third. And how you gonna get there. Do not go to Central Park. Why I can't go to Central? Because you don't need to be going to Central Park.
Yeah, you don't even. Did you see Home
Right. Exactly.
Don't be going to Central Park. Don't and not trying to talk bad about Central Park if anybody in New York talking about that. But the point is, you don't know. And you by yourself, you just got to be aware. So Dr. Nikki,
high level of awareness.
Yeah, high level of awareness. So Dr. Nikki, what should your mindset be for those that are attending homecoming festivities? And even if you're not attending homecoming festivities, just in life, what should your safety situational awareness mindset be?
On high.
On high. Okay.
Be on high at all times. Even when you're at home, you should be on high alert. I'm gonna say this, and I ain't gonna take up no more of y'all time. But for example, people come to, like, we DoorDash all the time. All the time. But even when you go to your door, when you're picking up your DoorDash, before I even open the door, I'm peeping out the window. I'm looking through the ring to make sure they drop it off and they walk off. Then when I open the door, I'm looking around. I mean, you would think I'm paranoid, but in my mind, I'm always what if? What if somebody is still standing there and I'll go to get my food and they bop me upside the head. All of those things, even though I'm at home, I'm in a safe space. To be honest, a lot of things happen and a lot of, incidents happen when you're in the safety of your own home.
True.
Robberies, domestic violence, you name it. So you can't you really just, at the end of the day, in 2025 going into 2026, your guard can't ever be down. I'm sorry. You should always be on high alert. Call me paranoid, but call me alive. Call me a survivor.
Amen. Amen. So, Dr. Nikki, with all your wealth of knowledge, especially as you being the SMEs, the subject matter expert, to situational awareness, how can people contact you?
Oh, wow. You can find me on Facebook, Dr. Nikki Speaks. If you put that in, it's going to come up. I'm on Instagram, Dr. Nikki Speaks. And I'm on TikTok as well. And I think it's Dr. Nikki Speaks. I kind of banned TikTok. So Instagram and Facebook is the best place to find me.
Okay, so because first of all, we want to thank you for your wealth of knowledge. Thank you for being here. Thank you for saying yes when I asked you to. Me and her do refuse to be a victim to together, but she do it more than I do. So she, like I said, she is the SMEs, which is the subject matter expert on situational awareness. But because this is homecoming, y'all, before we end, we got to shout out who we are representing. So, as a guest, I'm gonna let you go ahead first, Dr. Nikki. Who are you representing today?
Behold the green and gold, Norfolk State University, y'all.
All right.
Welcome to Sparta.
Sissy, who are you representing?
Well, I am representing, I represent a whole bunch of folks. So my heart represents East Glass High School.
Yes, baby.
But my paycheck represents Jefferson Forest.
We got you. we got you.
And we have already had our homecoming.
Yes. All right. So I am representing, as y'all can see, EC Glass High School, home of the Hilltoppers.
Yes.
And I am representing my son's school, which is homecoming this week, GHO, with my earrings, A&T earrings, the illustrious North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, NCAT, Aggie Pride.
There you go.
Right.
So we are representing, and I guess, Nicole, you and I both can represent the Ramley family, the home of Virginia Commonwealth University.
Look, why you had to say it like that? Virginia Commonwealth.
And the reason why I said, because here in North Carolina, when I say VCU, sometimes they're thinking I'm saying ECU.
Oh, okay.
Now I got used to saying Virginia Commonwealth University.
Okay. Yes.
Home of the Rams.
she pulled out the Bridgerton, the Commonwealth. Lady, whistle down.
Well, our homecoming is different. Our homecoming in January doing basketball season is different. So therefore, I was either at Virginia Union, Virginia State, Norfolk State or Hampton. That's where I was doing my time at VCU.
Yes.
So, in Virginia Union, right down the street, we'd have walked to Virginia. Child, we could have a whole show about the stupid stuff that we did in college, and thank God Jesus kept us. You're alive. Because Jesus kept us. Because there was a lot of situational awarenesses walking all over Richmond, walking all over Richmond.
And back what's funny, April, is back when we were at VCU, Richmond was still considered the number one like murder capital. So we were like, even the decision to go to school in Richmond had my parents concerned, because it was number one, like right now, number one in Virginia, most dangerous city is Portsmouth. I teach about that. It used to be Richmond, and it was during the time that I was there, that we were there.
And VCU was known, because when you say, oh, you're going to VCU, oh, you're going to the party school.
Yeah.
VCU was known as the party
school. What?
And that ain't no lie. I can tell you. Thank God we graduated. That ain't no lie. But even though Nicole had to leave VCU and go back to Norfolk State, but the point is we graduated.
Yes. And I left VCU with a 1.9 GPA because I majored in stepping. I graduated from VCU with a degree in stepping and it wasn't even strolling, but stepping. We stepped everywhere.
We did. We was on tour.
We were on tour.
Oh, yeah.
For a whole year, we were stepping everywhere. That's why I couldn't pass organic chemistry. And I had to go home. So it wasn't no situational awareness going on at VCU at all.
It really was.
Too busy stepping.
It really was. And thank God. I think Yolanda and I graduated together. Thank you, Jesus. But we got out of there.
Yes.
Like, girl, you need to decide what you're going to do, because you got to get up out of here. So this has been very enlightening. Everybody, hope you take these tips that Dr. Nikki gave you. Take it seriously. Be aware. Be on high alert on everything. Protect yourself, protect your family, protect others, because the world is crazy. It was crazy back then when we were growing up, and it's crazier now. So with that being said, Nikisha, do you have anything else to say?
Oh, girl, no, I've been waiting this whole podcast for that.
I heard it
too. Dr. Nikki, do you have anything else to say?
No, just you all, be safe out there. I'm not going to tell you not to have fun. So, still have your fun. Just be safe while you're doing it. That's it.
All right. So with that, everybody, amazing people, we wish you all blessings and love.
Yes. Bye.
Bye, y'all.